Welcome to the video report that John Austin and I have put together for our trip to University of Technology Sydney and University of Auckland, apart from a couple of other places. What we'll do is just briefly run through some of the things that we achieved and work through while we were there. John, you might talk about our seminar at the University of Technology.
We're invited to present a seminar to the, and I'll get the title correct, the Centre for Child and Youth Culture and Wellbeing, a brand new, very large research centre that's been formed as a result of the integration of a couple of previously existing and very productive and active research centres at the University of Technology Sydney. We're invited there initially to talk to staff there about some of the work we're doing in racial identity work, and that very quickly before we left escalated into a full invitation to present a visiting scholarship type seminar. Seminar was attended probably by about 40 to 50 people. We were very well hosted, facilities were excellent. The seminar was scheduled to run for an hour and a half. We cut it after 2.5 hours of discussion and conversation. Very, very productive. We had a range of participants that included undergraduate students, postgraduate students, staff, professorial level staff, and people from other universities who came across as well.
Now we do have a recording of that available as well, so if you want to have a look at some of the stuff that we did there, please contact us and we'll get a video to you.
The University of Auckland, and there we presented through the School of Critical Studies and Education two seminars. Andrew, you might want to talk to the first one of those.
The first dealt largely with a couple of projects that we've been running here and looking at notions of whiteness and racial identity. And the second sort of built on this but took a methodological slant. But the second of the two I think was probably the better received, not to say that the first wasn't at all. But we had a fairly big turnout for the second seminar, including a group of folks from the Samoan Ministry of Education, a delegation who had happened to be in Auckland at the time and wanted to come along, so it was really quite nice to have those sorts of connections. We managed to form some really valuable connections with a few of the academics at the University of Auckland. We've maintained some dialogue with these folks currently. The nice thing is we're on the cusp of developing some project work with these guys as well, so it's fairly interesting stuff. Again, we have another video of or outtakes and other bits and pieces from parts of the seminar. Again, if you want to see these, by all means contact us and we can make them available to you. But overall, a very, very valuable trip, and the seminars were quite humbled actually, because were very well received, and the level of engagement, questions and other bits and pieces attached to the seminars was really positive and lovely to be part of.
The preceding part of this report looked at the formal seminar, invited seminar work that we've done, but no trip of this type it's worth its salt, I guess, if there aren't other things that come out of it. And I think we're very, very satisfied with the additional bits and pieces. From the University of Technology Sydney, we met with a number of staff at professorial and associate professorial level who over the last several years have used the textbook which we've produced here for the Old Culture and Identity, now EDC 1200 course. Those people were very, very effusive in their praise for the book. We met with a couple of their students who used the book and got some feedback from those people about a new edition or a possible new edition. We also were able to work there with the members of the centre on the likely compilation of an ARC application, a research grant application, which will also include probably the University of Waikato, and we'll come to that in a moment. In Auckland, some of the many additional outcomes there, for me the highlight I guess was the connection to a couple of Pacifica staff members who took us in some cases into their classrooms, and we worked with Pacifica students, one of whom probably provided the most significant event for both of us, certainly for myself and I think for Andrew, of the whole trip, and that was when this very quiet, mature age woman sat for a while, listened to what we were talking about in terms of whiteness, and then put us on the spot by saying, why have you people, I think she meant white people generally, but it was aimed at us, why have you people taken so long? What has stopped you from acting earlier? And that's in a post-colonial era, that's a very, very powerful question, a very difficult one for a white person to answer. Andrew, some of the other highlights for you from...
Look, we had the opportunity to visit the Hawani Watiki urban marae in West Auckland while we're there as well, the first couple of days of our visit to Auckland. That was a genuinely awesome experience, and to be welcomed so openly and graciously by the elders of the marae was again an awesome experience. Very proud to say that we're both now honorary members of the tribal group of that marae, and will be maintaining connections with folks there. Some of the things that they were interested in from our visit, we should be able to develop and work up a little bit with some connections formally there. We also had opportunity to visit Professor Russell Bishop at University of Waikato on our last day in Auckland. And again, it was just nice. We're big fans of Russell's work, and it was nice talking to the fellow. You know, it's always good being able to meet face to face these people who've read for years. But again, there's some possibilities that are forming there as well for some research work, and some of the stuff that he's doing in NZ that may well be translated into an Australian context as well. So overall, it was a really valuable trip. We gained a lot from this, not just professionally but also personally, and to have the experiences to be welcomed onto a marae, to meet with colleagues directly, and to start to develop some of the project work that we're doing has been a massive experience. And I'd like to thank the faculty for allowing this trip to occur and for the funding that has made it available.